Welcome back to another episode of The Real Hero Show. Nick here with you, and today I am going to be talking about Dexter New Blood episode 5 entitled Runaway. Yes, after the famous song Runaway, which we hear in this episode, of course. Well, title gives it away. We don't really see a runaway. We see a girl shot in the face, though, which we'll get into in a second. And yes, there are spoilers, which I just did. Whoopsie daisy. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button. We appreciate all the newcomers and the support going towards our goal of 1,000 subscribers. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to hear about more future content, hit that bell for notifications. And without further ado, let's dive in. So we know that Kurt's the bad guy. We know he's responsible for killing all of the missing children, or at least most of them that have not just run away to kind of create new lives for themselves, as we've heard from Molly. But we see Chloe in the bunker. She catches on pretty quicker than the last girl. She gives Kurt a little show, which he's oddly grossed out about. Kind of didn't think he would get grossed out about it, but he did. And he lets her leave. She doesn't want to. He forces her to. She cuts his face. She stays there. Then she finally leaves. She approaches him on the steps, and then he shoots her in the face. And it was kind of that was a nice hole there. And then he shoots her again, like in the chest, and she's already dead. But he's crying. He's like, oh, it wasn't supposed to be like this. Woe is me. And the entire time I'm thinking, like, man, you're a piece of shit. And because we're halfway through the season and Dexter has not had one inkling of who this guy is, or I know he knows of the missing girls, but his whole dark passenger part doesn't have any idea. And it's kind of bothering because we get 5 episodes left. Where is this going to go? And because of what else happens in this episode, I don't know if it'll even happen at all. So going over to Dexter, right? We see him come close twice to killing again. Obviously, he's a little excited because of what happens to Harrison, finding the straight edge knife, and asking questions about it to Harrison. Harrison gets upset, frustrated, decides to go to a party and ODs, and obviously drinks a bunch too. But is saved by Audrey, and then he says something to Audrey that she remembers because she's sober. And Officer Logan is there to resuscitate him. He goes to the hospital, right? Dexter is, keen on finding out who sold these drugs to Harrison because he wants to get some revenge. And he goes to another town where this guy Miles is at. He comes so close to hitting him with that needle, but again, Officer Logan comes and intervenes, and Dexter is sort of beating the crap out of him. And I thought the part with the station where Logan is questioning Miles and even impresses Dexter as Dexter's eavesdropping, and then we see Dexter go and find this guy Jasper, who makes all the drugs, and again literally has this guy on the table when Logan shows up, not just by himself, but as we see like a SWAT team, and Dexter has to stage this overdose as he shoves some cocaine or meth or heroin down this dude's Jasper's nose, or nostrils rather. And I guess maybe a part of me feels bad for Dexter. Just he can't get his fix. But at the same time, I'm like, man, you're an idiot. This guy's not worth your time. Literally, the cops are right here to take this guy away, right? If he was to stay true to this code and in anything and really find something or find someone more valuable of his code, and especially for someone that has fit the bill in the previous 8 seasons, You'd think that he would try and find Kurt Caldwell. But again, we're halfway through the season. He doesn't have a single idea that it's him. And his world's about to get real small in a small town like Iron Lake, because Molly and Angela decide to go to a conference because Angela is trying to follow up the leads on Matt Caldwell and his credit cards that are being used at this hotel, which she gets to. And, she's able to, find the video recordings from the hotel security. And they're like, yeah, that's not Matt Caldwell. That's some other guy. And again, I'm not too sure as to why Kurt's trying to cover up. I think he's just trying to get over it and to throw maybe the cops off of his scent or his plans or anything like that. That he's been, killing more recently. The girl with the green hair and now Chloe, right? And who knows if we'll see someone else, which we'll get to in a second. But of course, in this ironic meetup of in New York City, we see a little bit of a cameo. We see Angel Batista. And he's sort of leading the conference, or at least being a guest speaker at the conference. Now, I think it's kind of ironic that he shows up here. And again, they're trying to throw in some nostalgia because it's the same, showrunner from the previous 8 seasons. He's trying to pull in the audience, trying to get some, oh my God, Batista, right? But in a fiction world like this, even, how realistic is it for a cop that lives in Miami? How often is it that they would possibly go to New York City to speak at a conference, right? Especially when it comes to serial killers. I don't know. I think that would be a toss-up either way. But at the same time, because Batista is captain of the homicide department, he has a little bit of conversation with Angela, and is like, platonic, and he's not trying to hit on her, but he kind of is. And then she's like, oh, I have a boyfriend. And Batista talks a little bit about the Trinity killer, and obviously the Bay Harbor butcher, who we noticed to be Dexter, and said that again, there's someone that would have been really, really, really good to speak with about this. And he says, Deborah Morgan. And Angela's like, oh, I'd love to meet her. I bet you would, but she's dead. And she's still in Dexter's head. I didn't mean to rhyme, but I did. And he says it's tragic, right? She died, sad story, along with her brother, which we know is Dexter. But he doesn't say his name, right? Can't give away too much. But he does say, oh, he had a son, and he walks away. And then 2 seconds later, he goes, I think his name was Harrison. And of course, like this, what? Dumbfounded look on Angela's face. And it's like the Zach Galifianakis gif of all, from I can't think of the damn movie now. Hangover, and all the math when he's playing 21, and that's like kind of going through her head right now, right? And then when she gets back to Iron Lake, she sees Audrey and is like, oh, I'm just glad you're okay, right? And then Audrey's like, I gotta tell you something. It's something that Harrison said. And then so now she's putting 2 and 2 together. Like, he said that there's something strange about his father. Jim's not his real name. Yeah. She probably knows a little bit more now. So we know that his world has gotten smaller. We know that Angela and Audrey, and of course Harrison, knows that Dexter is lying about his past. And while no one still knows his dark secret, aside from us, of course, I wonder how he's going to try and cover this up. I'm not sure. I know some of it kind of seemed a little campy, just in the sense of, the name reveal, kind of just giving it freely almost. I think it would have been better if Harrison's name didn't get mentioned, and was just saying, oh yeah, there was a son, and then maybe, she asks Harrison about where he came from, and if he knew someone named Deborah Morgan, decided to dig a little bit deeper into the Trinity killer case, right? And I think at that point too, not to go too far, but that might stretch things out along the last 5 episodes. But maybe while she's figuring all that out, maybe over say like 2 or 3 episodes, Dexter is starting to figure out who Kurt is, and that he might be responsible for these missing girls. And because of that, he starts to get closer to Kurt and tries to, take out his dark passenger. Which the interesting part again is where Kurt decides to pick Harrison up as Harrison's walking home, gives him a job at the diner, and granted, Harrison's like, "Why are you doing this?" Sort of, why are you helping me out? But I'm interested to see the connection and the relationship that Kurt and Harrison start to build up, because I don't know if there's going to be this wedge that gets driven between Harrison and Dexter from Kurt, or if Dexter picks up on it, and that's when he, again, kind of gets a little bit more of the clues between the missing girls and Kurt. Maybe it's through Harrison. But yeah, I don't know. I think this 6th episode is going to tell a lot about how the rest of the show is going to play out. Spoken to a few people about this already. I think this episode is a bit of a mixed rating. I've seen some other people give it really good ratings, like 4 to 5 stars, that sort of thing. So if you double it to 10, that's about an 8 out of 10, which I think it shouldn't get higher than that. I think it could be as low as maybe a 6 for people that are disappointed. Now, I'm not going to go with the 7 score. And for those of you that have been following us here, you know that IGN is very much a 7 giver. But the generous side of me does want to give it an 8 because of the reveals. But at the same time, I think some of it was just like too free. Like, here you go. Here's information. It's okay. Here's the names. Here's the key details. I hope they just kind of, play us for fools in the next episode, or at least the second half of this season. Because again, this is the only season we're going to get from Dexter. We're not going to get like a Dexter New Blood season 2 sort of thing. Then it has to end, and it's either going to end by Dexter getting killed finally, or going to jail for eternity. And with 5 episodes left, that's quite a bit to tie up. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think it's going to be better with the next episode? Do you think the second half is going to be better than the first half? Do you think that Dexter is actually going to get Kurt Caldwell for all that he's done? Do you think Angela's going to find out about Dexter's truth? Or is he going to somehow continue to lie for her, or maybe tell her a fraction of the truth? Like, yes, Dexter Morgan is my real name. I had to leave. I had to fake, play dead because people were trying to kill me because of what happened to Harrison's mother. He could say a number of things because of, what his past life was. And you know, but I don't know. I think it could get a lot better. I hope it does, because I have been enjoying this comeback season for Dexter and Michael C. Hall, since he does portray this character so well. So leave your comments in the comment section below. I'd love to hear more about what people thought about this. This will be releasing on a Friday, so unfortunately, if you've watched it at this point, there's only about 2 days between now and then until the new episode comes out. I will try to get the next episode review out sooner, so that there's more time for us to talk about it. But until next time, I'll catch you guys on the next video. Like, subscribe, notifications. Peace.